So I've done burlesque, I've done stand-up comedy, I've performed in front of hundreds of people in all sorts of states of undress. This is going to be a ridiculous episode. He goes downtown and eats it like a vulture. I'm probably going to cry. It's like a whole thing. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black and I'm black, y'all. I am not a geek, but I am geek-ish. Is this what it's like to be around black people? I was super annoyed. I am on the bipolar roller coaster, the bipolar coaster. Like, sometimes people just don't get it. Hey, it's Amber P. I am the hostess of Black, Sexy, Geeky, and Mental, a weekly podcast delving into the mind of a black former burlesque performer, sci-fi fan with bipolar disorder. So here's the deal. A few years ago, my bipolar disorder really caught up with me, and I voluntarily checked myself into a psychiatric hospital. And I have no shame in that. I needed some help, and I got it. And when I got out, the bulk of the people I spoke to were paid to talk to me. Therapists, doctors, nurses, etc. So I needed more. I needed to be able to talk on my terms about what I wanted to talk about, not just dosages and diagnosis and a treatment plan. I needed to talk about what I wanted to. So that's why I started the show. So I could talk about race all day long. I can talk about graphic sexual stories for an entire episode. I can talk about how I don't like since Stephen Moffat has taken over Doctor Who. I liked it better when Russell T Davies was in charge. Hey, I can talk about that all day long. And if I start crying on the show and getting all blubbery, people understand. If I have to miss a week or two because I'm feeling really manic and I need some time off, then that is what'll happen, and people understand, and people can relate in a lot of ways. Somebody found me because she put black and bipolar in her search engine, in her directory, and she found me. Another guy put anxiety and he found me, and he doesn't even have bipolar disorder. He has another psychiatric diagnosis, and he can relate to me. Another woman said that she can understand her daughter who has bipolar disorder a little more after listening to my show, and it's like, I love that. Like having a podcast is such a powerful, amazing tool. You know, when I was going to the hospital, I was listening to a podcast. And that sounds so stupid and it sounds so weird, but there's something comfortable and familiar about the world that you get into with different podcasts. And it wasn't like a meaningful and beautiful podcast about something meaningful and beautiful. I think it was about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe on one episode of this show. It was voices that I knew, and it was comfortable. And my show is not necessarily accompanying people to psychiatric hospitals, but it's familiar. It's a diary, and people like it. So it might not even necessarily be a show for you, but it's a show that should exist in the world. So if you can help make this happen, fiscally speaking, I'm looking for help to help keep the show going for another year. Technically, so web hosting, website renewal, etc. So I am looking for $651, which is embarrassingly low on IndieGogo. So if you could head over to my page on IndieGogo, it will be in the notes section of the YouTube page. Or if you're on IndieGogo, check out the perks on the page. There's a lot of really cool things. And just, give what you can if you can. And if you can't, send some positive energy in your meditation, Reiki, prayer, raise a toast to me, drink responsibly, real talk, okay? But anyhow, send some positive energy, send on this clip if there's somebody who might be inspired by it accidentally, and that's all I have to say. So thank you, Wicked, give if you can, and spread the word if you can't. So rock on, cool kids.